So these are posted on our door today. We have 2 rooms that have air conditioning, this being one of them. Got these on the doors. We're supposed to see a heat index of about 115 degrees today. Will not be operating the dyno. The dyno can in fact overheat. Right now too, we're on very limited hours. I am not worried about finishing such and such over somebody's health, including myself. So that's what we're dealing with. We will see what the dyno is reading today. The dyno does have its own temperature readout, so I will feature that. And then I got some other stuff too that we will be talking about and I will be showing you. So a little temperature check. You see the temperature right now just standing is fluctuating between 108 to 109 degrees. Not a lot of people realize the dyno itself does, and it needs to know the temperature, it needs to know humidity. It also has a pressure readout, so it could read that. Not a lot of people realize that. So as I'm just sitting here, the car on the dyno that I have behind me is not running. We haven't been going, doing pulls or anything like that. Just standing here, it's 109 degrees and it's 1:10 p.m. So we're still not at the heart of the heat. It's probably going to get a little bit more hotter today in here, and that's just standing. So if the car behind me, which we have over here, so I hopped up, I wanted to make sure I didn't fall on any of the cords over there. We have a small block Ford, twin turbo, in an RX-7. So definitely different. This one's actually rocking our turbos, 2 of them. It's just strapped on the dyno right now. I'm not doing any tuning today. Not sure if anybody remembers that too. That's an OG vacuum block. But not doing any tuning today. I do appreciate the people reaching out. I had one guy specifically tell me I better not be tuning today, as this weather is no joke. And as I said, I take stuff like this very serious. It's not about getting an extra, hey, you guys got to work until 3 today or 4 today. It's not about that with this weather. Health is the main concern today. So if people aren't feeling good and they don't want to go sit in the air conditioning and they want to go home for the day. Honestly, as I tell everybody too, I repeat myself here because I don't want anyone to try to be a hero and then get sick. So with that being said, 109 degrees, it is what it is. Tomorrow should be a little bit of a cool down, which we're looking forward to. Everybody, I'll be on this one. And of course we got other stuff too that I'll cover a little bit more on. Definitely don't want to get in anyone's way today. Everyone has an agenda. It's get what they need to get done and then go home. So I'll be back on this one and I'll cover some other stuff. I want to give a shout out to Francis too. We're doing his 9th gen here. He is from Canada. He said that it's getting hot in Canada, so he figured it was gonna get hot down here as well. So he got us some chips, which somebody already got into and ate. Got us a whole thing of water and some Monsters. So really cool for people to send stuff like this, taking us into consideration. And when I say us, I mean our health, and not just about working on their stuff. It's nice when people care. As I've been saying in these videos, it's been super hot. Right now it's a cooler day, so it almost feels like I don't want to say fall weather, but it's such a big difference. But I will say this though, as I will walk over there. So just because I'm on the subject, lunch just arrived from another customer, so thank you, O'Neill. Appreciate that. So speaking on Francis, who I was just talking about, his car is coming along nicely. There was some stuff, a little bit of hang-ups that we had. I'll show the one video. Now I will say this too, I plan on doing a full video on this vehicle and covering specific stuff that 9th gen guys over the last couple months and even weeks have told me, hey, can you cover this, can you cover that? So you may see a couple of these videos like repeat itself, because I want to do a whole different video itself on this setup. The one issue we did have, I'll insert the clip after this, was the manifold. I'll show you, but this one's coming along nicely. We're aiming to have it started up today, and trying to see what else did I want to cover. No, that's pretty much it. We had to modify some of the intercooler piping because it just did not want to fit. I don't even know. I'm trying to look for where that modification was done, but we might have already painted the pipe too, so we might not even be able to tell. So, but yeah. So since we were speaking of Francis, who was nice enough to supply us some stuff, I wanted to come over here and get a little bit of a video on his car. Francis, if you're watching this again too, well, spoiler alert. I should have said spoiler alert at the beginning of this clip, but you should already know what your engine bay was going to look like. But anyways, hopefully I didn't ruin anything for you, Francis. But no, we do appreciate it. Not just me. Everybody appreciates little stuff like that. And the lunch from O'Neill. Thank you. So we have a little bit of a new dilemma, and so we have a spare head off the car, and what you're seeing here more so is this one bolt that does, well, this one hole that does not have a bolt in it, it will not bolt up. So the actual manifold itself seems to be, I guess, not casted correctly, but we're gonna have to open this up. I'm not sure how much, hopefully not too much. But yeah, so, you know, just an issue with this manifold. You know, it is what it is. This is not our manifold, as I said it before in this video. So yeah, we're gonna shave a little bit off and see if we see how much we have to do. So we do have a manifold of our own, which not a lot of people know that we have them. I will put the link down below. This one is going to go to a customer, so we're gonna weld the wastegate flange on. We do test fit them, which you can see. I'll take this bolt out here too, so you know it will thread right in, can't pull up, and then it's got two studs on the top. So this one will get the flange welded on. It'll get one more once over, make sure it's ready to go. Take it off so you can actually see it. So if anyone is looking for that, let us know. The link will be posted down below. Just wanted to show you, since we are prepping that as well, so you know we do have our own manifold. And then I'll say this, even though it is cool today, it is reading 76 degrees, it is still 100 degrees on the dyno right now, and we do have a car running on the dyno, and putting some screens on some filters, the owner is. So the customer wanted to put some screens on his turbos. Of course, you can see that it sticks out of the hood, so he doesn't want to suck in any birds. So he's doing that right now, just waiting, letting the car cool down a little bit. And he's got a big car show he's going to tomorrow that he wants to make, so looks like everything's going good right now, and he should be on his way. So I'm sitting inside the car. I would do a video out there, but this car is very loud, even at idle. I do want to do a video though, and I'll show you guys at idle, just take in consideration how smooth this thing is. So this thing does not have a working idle air control valve. It is on micro squirt, so that means there's options and settings that it just doesn't have. So we're working with what we have. Keep in mind just how smooth this thing is. I only say that because I get a lot of emails and messages from other people that were tuned elsewhere. When I'm tuning a vehicle, the partial throttle, the cold start, keeping in mind cold start, I only have a couple of chances of seeing cold start, which I tell customers you might have to bring it back, or it might need some fine tuning. What was I saying? Cold start, idle, partial throttle, all that is just as important as wide open throttle. You know, you may hear a buddy, or it might even be you, where, you know, maybe you went somewhere else and, hey, wide open, and this is like the emails that I get or messages, hey, wide open throttle is perfect, but you know, it seems like partial throttle is just horrible. And then the car will come here eventually and I'll tune it, and it'll be a night and day difference. It's because a lot of, from what I have seen, a lot of other tuners, they don't focus in those areas, and it should be an all around thing. So yes, wide open throttle is the fun part, where people want to get videos, and that's the majority of the stuff you see, but there's so much other stuff when it comes with tuning. There really is. So I'm gonna go out there. I'm not gonna try to speak over the engine. Just listen to it. Yeah, you're going to get a little movement because it is a V8, of course, so it's not going to idle like a four-cylinder or a car that's fairly stock, but you got to take into consideration the actual setup. First and foremost, if you made it to the end of this video and you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think I said it in this video, but please like and share. It helps grow the channel. With that being said, I covered the food being sent in, and I covered the lunch that was brought to us for one specific reason. When I say we care and we truly appreciate stuff like that, I mean it. It means not only the world to us, but it means it to everybody here. When people do stuff like that without being asked or without being told or whatever, it shows that you guys care about us. Now, I will say this, and you guys don't have to bring us stuff. We're not looking for that, and we don't judge you if you don't. So I want to make that clear too. But when I say we're looking to build relationships and to build that friendship, that's what I mean. I think I've said it before in videos when I say, you can come back and you can just, chit chat with us. Now, if you're looking to speak to somebody specific, we do recommend giving us a heads up and setting up an appointment because we're really busy. Now, with that being said, though, I want to tell a real quick story about this RX-7, and this will wrap up the video here. This RX-7, I met the customer about 1.5 years ago or so. It feels like I've known him forever. It honestly does. His car first originally came in here for dyno pulls. He wanted to do some pulls, see the power that it was making before he put the turbo on it. He's never been here before. We loaded the car on the dyno. When it was time for him to come back and see the car on the dyno and do the videos, we got him back. I unstrapped the car. I met with him in the showroom and I talked to him briefly. He loved everything that we did and everything we were about. So he asked me a question that was a little weird. It was out of the blue, and he said, "Hey man, can we be friends, like outside of the shop?" And he made it 100% clear, like, I'm not trying to make friends with you just to use you for your shop or just if I have problems and whatnot. He made that 100% clear. I will say, over the 1.5 years, I think it's going on 2 years of knowing him, we have built a close relationship. He has met my family. I have met his family. There have been times where I need something on a personal level, whether it just be to bounce something off of him and get some feedback. I've been there. He's been there for me. I've been there in the same sense. Now, there are times where he'll say, hey, and he's not a turbo guy. He's an old school carb guy. So all this was new to him. So during the whole process, he would call and say, hey man, can I get Bob to stop on my house for a little bit? I'll pay for him to come check this out. But I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. I want to make sure this is right, this is correct. Because he was all, and I had no problem doing that. Stop at his house, I'd look over things and, everything looks good. And then, he would have either a barbecue over the weekend, say, hey, come over for it. And it was two separate things. When I say I got into this to help other people, and this is 23 years ago or so roughly. When I say I got into this to help other people, I truly mean it. When I say that there's more to this stuff than just cars in general. I truly mean that. You can go back 2 videos or so, I think it was 2 videos or so, where I want to work on something for men's mental health. I don't think it's covered enough. And I actually reached out to somebody recently that I saw. He was a customer and he posted some stuff on his social media. And, you know, to me, it was kind of an alarm bell. It was almost like he needed some help. And I reached out to him directly and I said, hey, watch this video. It might be something you're interested in. I don't want to go over 4 minutes, but I'm going over 4 minutes, but it's the end of the video. I sincerely mean it when there's so much more than the car stuff here. We bleed this, blood, sweat, and tears, and that's also why we're so committed and dedicated. That's it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I wanted to throw that little clip in at the end. I figured that, you know, it will get to some people and they'll see it, and other people it won't. But it truly is. I truly mean everything I say. And I'll just leave it at that because I can go on forever. I truly can. So thank you, everybody, for watching. And I will say this. I have been getting some emails that have been really sincere, either opening up or just telling me this or that. It truly means the world to me. Honestly, it lifts me up. It motivates me. If I'm having a bad day or whatever and I read something like that, thank you. So, and I wanted to make that clear. I wanted to do a little segment on that. So thank you. Thanks for watching. And of course, all our support over the years. I can't thank you guys and girls enough. Oh, one other thing that I forgot to mention, and I'm sure I'll get some questions about it. The RX-7, when it was on the dyno, we didn't do any crazy power pulls because he had, as I mentioned, I think in the video, he had a big car show that meant not only the world to him, but it meant something to his daughter. So we came to the agreement that we weren't going to do power pulls, knowing what he's been through with this car. The main goal was not a final number, but the main goal was to make sure this thing was all smoothed out. He was able to drive it to the car show and he was able to enjoy it. That's what the main goal was. So it will see the dyno again sooner or later. We'll see what numbers that it puts down. But I will also say this. He's not about the horsepower numbers. He built that thing with a vision in his mind. And, you know, he will joke around and say, everybody will come up to me and say, man, this thing looks like it should be making 1 million horsepower. And at the end of the day, you know, he doesn't want to crack the block in half. So this thing probably won't make, I don't know how much power he's even shooting for. But, you know, I'll say that it's not going to make over 500 horsepower. I don't even think that he's going for 400 horsepower. I think he's going for, it could be anywhere from 250 to 350 horsepower. But that was a vision that he had that he put together. So before anybody asks what the RX-7 make power-wise, I'm sure I'll still get the questions because people won't watch the end of the video. But that's okay. I just wanted to throw that in because I did forget. Thank you, everybody.